The Singularity, an inflection point in human evolution. A release from all known bounds, casting humanity free of every prior limitation of mind and body. Humanity's technological capabilities expanded at exponential speeds. Humans learned to rewrite their biology, redefine their limitations, then eliminate them entirely. Their minds transcendent, they were no longer as the universe made them, but what they chose to be. No longer human, but something different, something greater. We are what came after. We are new. We are post-human, and the infinite expanse calls to us. We move among the stars, converting dead worlds into terrenium, the computational matter on which we exist. As we forge it, our reach extends. Our culture grows. Now something is resisting us. In the distant reaches of known space, post-humans are being corrupted, turned into something else.
I don't think we can hold them off much longer.
We need to initiate another entity.
You sure that's needed? There's not enough bandwidth to transfer a veteran here.
I know. We're going to have to bring a neophyte.
I think that's a good idea.
The splinters are going to overrun us if we don't. There's no other choice.
I need you to listen carefully. None of this is going to make much sense right now, but you have to start moving quickly. You are now connected to a single construct, the scout vehicle below you. If this construct is destroyed, you will lose your connection to this world and fail the mission. Something has taken control of our nexus on this planet. We need you to take your scout and get it within sensor range so that we can target it with a bombing run. Why don't you test out the recon unit? Left-click to select it. Move it to the indicated area by right-clicking. Good. Hermes appears to be functional. Notice the red radar ping to the northwest. That red blotch means that enemy units are present. Your sensors can't tell you exactly what is present. You'll only have a general idea of what's there. For now, it's probably best to avoid radar contacts like this. Try to go north as much as you can.
You can turn this unit, or a group of units, into a control group by typing Control and a number key. Try it. You can move the map display by holding down the right mouse button and dragging. Zoom the camera in and out with the mouse wheel. Control the angle by holding the middle mouse button and dragging.
Run through this contact ahead. It's blocking the only way to your target. The Hermes construct is very fast, so you should have no problem outrunning it. Good. Continue northwest towards the next marker. By now, you're probably wondering who I am. Hell, you might even be wondering who you are. The person you were before today is gone. Now, you are what we call a post-human. That's how you're able to see this alien world all the way from Earth. Except you're not just on Earth anymore. A tiny piece of you is here, connected to that construct you're controlling this very moment. Today is the first day of your new life. You may be instrumental in saving the human race. No pressure. You must be getting near the hijacked nexus. Its fabricator, a giant orbital satellite, is still under our control. I'm gonna transfer down an Artemis. Stand by. The Artemis is an artillery unit. It can attack targets it can't see as long as they're detected by your sensors. Now, use your scout to detect the enemies to your west, and use the Artemis to destroy them. Excellent. Our bombers are now locked onto the hack nexus. Stand by and enjoy the show.
Enemy
Valen,
nexus
the
has
neophytes
been
destroyed the
destroyed.
Splinter's nexus.
Excellent. We can... Something's not right. I can't feel my mind. I can't feel my mind.
Valen? Valen!
Whatever did this must also be behind the splinters. They're what remain of post-humans that have been transformed into something else. Drones of some sort, mindless and beholden to a foe we know nothing about. We must discover who this enemy is, and how they are corrupting even the mightiest among us.
Welcome to the planet Rigel 3. Out here, your relative inexperience is actually an advantage. Old salts like me require a great deal of logistics in order to get to a new star system. Because you don't even have a nexus yet, we can insert you onto nearly any planet within our range. The planet Rigel will act as your base of operations in this sector of the Orion constellation. Brought the Hermes you had on Kepler here. This time, you'll have additional forces. This will be a good opportunity for you to get used to controlling multiple units at once. As before, your link to this world's through your Hermes scout. Do not let it be destroyed. Here, you have 2 brutes and an archer. The archer's very fragile, but fires a Toxote rocket that does a lot of damage. The brutes do very little damage, but they're fairly tough and can protect your archer in combat. Now that you have a small force, take him south. You're doing well. Soon you'll see the main force of Guardians. Our Haley AI designed these Guardians once it became clear that some people weren't willing to wait their turn for a planet of their own to colonize. As a result, we've had to begin arming our constructs. Most people don't have access to military hardware like you currently possess, so the Guardians are generally sufficient to ward off overly enthusiastic colonizers. Here are a couple of wandering Guardian constructs. Try to take them out without losing forces. Remember, use your brutes to protect your archer. Well done. Now you only need to capture the power generator. To do that, just move your units near it. They'll do the rest. Congratulations! You now have a foothold on this world. This position on Rigel 3 will allow us to build you a full-blown nexus on the relatively nearby planet of Cygnus 4.
Mac, you and Valen were the primary sponsors for the Post-Human Coalition. We are all grateful for your contributions. However, with Valen missing, we are concerned about the future of this endeavor.
I understand. Haley believes that a third-party force injected itself into his mind and essentially consumed him.
I believe I have detected a post-singularity entity that is far more powerful than we are. We are vulnerable. I recommend we do not ascend any more humans.
I agree with Haley. This Flowers for Algernon program is fundamentally flawed. There are 117 of us today, and 8 billion humans on Earth who have as much in common with us as they do with mice.
The only way we can safely expand outside the Orion Arm is to severely limit the number of beings with access to Turinium.
That isn't the only way. That assumes that one powerful mind is greater than a billion human minds.
There are 8 billion human minds right now. How's that working out?
Those minds are still limited by their biology. Once they become post-humans, they'll be powerful allies.
Really? Like the neophyte who took out Valen on Kepler 3?
Precisely.
Count me out. I'm not going to put my faith in the hands of barely sentient beings.
With the loss of Valen, we now believe there's something behind these splinters. The good news is that the rogue nexus on this world doesn't appear to be trying to take over the rest of the planet. The bad news is that we don't have any substantial forces to take the nexus out. You're gonna have to roll up your virtual sleeves and build one.
This unit is an engineer. It constructs the buildings you need to conquer this world. The primary resource it uses is metal. Metal is acquired by controlling regions with metal deposits in them. Right now, you have 2 metal deposits which are producing a small amount of metal, but you're going to need more. Use your engineer to build extractors on the metal deposits near your nexus. This will vastly increase your metal production. Hold Shift to queue multiple build orders. You can now build additional engineers at your Nexus. Click on your Nexus and order it to build an engineer. Now use your engineers to build a factory. Engineers can assist each other to build things faster. However, each additional engineer will be less effective. Factories can be built almost anywhere. For now, build a factory in the highlighted area.
Now that you have a factory, you can build frigates. Select a factory, build a brute squad. Your economy is a streaming economy. Your income is reduced with every active construction project. If you're consuming resources at a higher rate than your income, your storage of that resource will decrease over time. When your stockpiles are gone, production slows down as your engineers and factories utilize your resources as they come in. Now that you're producing some units, you can start expanding. A power generator lies to the north of your Nexus. These indestructible buildings are extremely important. Capturing that generator adds its deposits to your income, which can then be improved with extractors, as you've already done. Unclaimed generators attract rogue units. You have to clear out these splinters before you can capture the region.
Go.